Hi, good morning everyone. I just wanted to share this quick story with you. It's a supernatural story, so get ready. We were at a staff luncheon once, and with the team was all there, and we were all excited about having lunch together. And a very odd thing happened at the beginning of it. My friend came and sat her chair right down in the top of my foot. Now, I was in excruciating pain. I couldn't speak for a good few minutes. I was like, just speechless, which is rare for me. Now, everybody started to gather around and say, "Oh my gosh, Dr. Rose, oh my gosh, let me see your foot. You're going to need to go to this hospital, which was nearby. You're going to need to get an x-ray. You're going to need to this, that." They were just really excited and, concerned about my foot. Now, I was just in that state of seeing every kind of star that one could see, not able to speak. But when I finally was able to speak, do you know what I heard my voice saying? I heard myself saying, "This is not going to be a problem." And I said, What are you talking about? You're going to need tetanus shot, and you're going to need this, and you're going to need... And I just heard my voice again say, "This is not going to be a problem." Now, I know that I'm a foodie, and I know just the thought of leaving this amazing lunch to go and spend time in a hospital was just not my cup of tea for that day. I just had no interest in doing that. And so I just said, it's not going to be a problem. It's just, and the more I said it, the more sharply the pain fell until I felt nothing, nothing, nothing. My friend looked down and said, "Oh, but it's cut." And I looked down and saw my foot cut. And what I did, I just pasted the little flesh back down. I just pasted it and patted it down and I just said, "This is not going to be a problem." Now, let me tell you, at the end of the lunch, we had a nice lunch. The pain fell off sharply and we had a nice lunch. But at the end of that day, when I got home, I called my husband because I remembered it. And I said, "You know what? I really neglected this area. I neglected this injury. And for a doctor, this is not good. It may really need some dressing now. It may need some, to be cleaned up. We may need to bandage it. We may need to pay it some attention." And so I called him over and I said, "Hey, you know what happened to me today? Something really horrible happened to my foot. And I lifted my foot now and I put it out ahead of me. And I said, look at this. Look, And I looked at the foot and I noticed there was no obvious injury there, no tear. So I sat down, lifted my foot up and I started to press into it. I realized the skin, the part where the skin had been stripped away from that pink surface, that pink dermal tissue, the deeper tissues underneath, there was none of that. It was healed and perfectly sealed. And my husband looked at me and I felt a bit embarrassed because I had no evidence that the foot had been injured. None. So I pressed into the foot to see if there would be even an inch of discomfort or pain, and it was all gone. So since that day, and I call it my first personal supernatural healing for myself, where I could see the thing and then it was not there. I've had others, but that day, it was quite dramatic because I could see the thing there and feel it, and then it was just not there at all. And so since that day, I've taught my children the value of speaking the words, "This is not going to be a problem." And now we speak it over everything. Every bit of bad news, everything that comes to bring fear, we just speak, this is not going to be a problem. Every time they fall, every time they bounce their heads, I just see them now saying, "This is not going to be a problem." I've taught it to my team members. They all have learned, this is not going to be a problem. And in a group I was teaching once, there was a lady whose son swallowed a nut, like a nut that goes with a bolt. So he swallowed this and he was actually choking on it. And she thought, "Oh my goodness, he's going to die, or he's going to choke to death." And then in a moment she said, "Wait a minute, I am a child of God. I have dominion and I have authority. This is not going to be a problem. In the name of Jesus Christ, this is not going to be a problem." And do you know her son started throwing up, and then the choking ended. The problem was solved, and it was not a problem. So now I want you to take this story and run with it. It really happened. It's my story. For those of you who don't want to believe it, that's fine. But for those of you who are open and ready, I want you to hold on to it, because you can use this for yourself. Other persons have been using it and it's been working. We shall decree a thing and it shall be established unto us. Decree over your situation. Decree over the things that are happening. Decree over the things that are coming at you, and declare that this is not going to be a problem. Hope you all were blessed.